Alright, good morning traders. Welcome to Framework Fortune. Welcome back, Framework Fortune community. I'm your host, Ben. And the SPY having a little bounce off of yesterday's lows so far. So it is trying to come back up. And we're seeing some nice rebounds in the market. BTCS ripping from 571 up to 714. After having that sell-off yesterday, but look, all it did was just bounce right off that 10-day, right? The EMAs are lined up the way they're supposed to be now on BTCS. 10 to the top, 50 in the middle, red at the bottom. So we'll be keeping an eye on BTCS for sure now that it's rebounded and confirmed this new bullish momentum. DWAC did shoot all the way up to, I think, what was it, 90 yesterday? Or 93 here in pre-market. Did get up to, what, 88. That's selling off at the moment. CSS Bev. On that daily, very close to the 10, crossing over the 200. But has some strong rejection at 5. CVFI. That one's still slowly climbing, but over 13 at the moment. Take Neuro off. IMTE. If you're not in the Discord, this ended up being a decent little win yesterday. Made about 40 bucks, making up for those two $5 losses. Starting the week out green. $30 in profit. Just a small little start in the green, but I am good with that. So today I don't have a ton of funds. Let's just take that off there. So I'm looking for just one good trade. And BBIG trying to break out, but got strong resistance at 525. If that 10 crosses back over there on the 15-minute, we might come look for a position there. Let's see, really down on the 10-day on the daily chart. Could see another move on rally. YNZ is too high up for now. Take that off too. ZNGX looks like it's an acquisition, so that's why it's going sideways. SBEV we got on the watch list. GMVD still moving up. That's pretty much all I'm seeing at the moment that I like. So SBEV trying to hold above the 10-day on the 15 here. Let's see this hour chart. It's a little high up. Could come down to 4. I don't know if BTCS has a pullback. I'm going to look at BTCS. CFVI on the hours right on the 10-day. PPIG. Price is crossing back over the 50. Let me see here. Really high up though, 524. Well, like I said, if it could break that 525 though, it does have room. It's that one though that's got 135 million shares though. It is moving like a low float at the moment though. I'm jumping in here. Starting to break that 525. Starting to actually hold the 525. What is my... Why did it not make a trailing stop? Are you serious? I was trying to break out right now. Morning, Donnell. What's up, David Davis? What's up, Lauren? How are you? Let's see, 524 giving up, 525 giving up on 15-minute chart. You can see right here where the price keeps trying to push over that 50-day, but it's struggling to do it. It's like, I'm trying, I'm popping up there. Hey. And BTS come back down to 6. That would be a pretty good area to look at. Oh, let's see. You're gonna get rejected here. What's the one now? Let's see the 5-minute. 5-minute, we are, the 50-day just crossed over the 200. The 10-day is approaching up there. So the 10-day just has to cross over those two. Which will come with the break of 525 if we can get it. Now we could pull back down to 515. But still testing at the moment. SBEV still going flat right on that 10-day. GMVD, that just bounced, pushing for a new high of day at 464, still pushing. Small position for on VVOs. Hey, you know, it's still a green trade, Donnell, so there's nothing wrong with that. I know it sucks to miss the extra profits left on the table, but hey, still gotta win. Any win is better than no wins. Let me see the 5 minute. I need to keep an eye on this 5 minute to see if we're crossing over here. Because once we cross over the indicators here, then we'll start crossing on the 15. But I want to see this cross happen on the 5 minute here soon. Because it is very close at 10-day crossing over the 50 and the 200. Just break a 525. That's all we need. Real quick. Let me look at my 50-cent trail. Oh, I see. It wasn't set to trailing. Let me save that. That is the 50-cent trailing stop. Cool. Now we got that template in there. And this one I need to delete. Check my 20 cent. Nope, that one's not on a trailing stop either. Let's just make it actually a 25 cent. And then delete at 20 trailing. And then I know my 10 cent stop loss is right. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. There we go. We got our templates set back up for those stop losses, those trailing stops. And this 10-day getting very close. And it's going to be very important it crosses here and it doesn't get stuck and curls back down below it. Need to see this cross, need to see this break of 525. What's that SPY doing? See it. And SPY tried to rebound, but pulling back again. Oh, here we go. We're getting very close. It's trying to break now. You can see where the 10-day, the green line, is trying to cross on the 5 minute here. Oh, we're still getting held up though. 525 on the asks. I don't know why I put so many S's on that, but it needed it. Oh, oh. We need to bounce right off of here. I'm about to hop out of here if this does not rebound right back up. Let me see the 15 minute. Yeah, the 15 minute, we're starting to drop below too. Dropping Well, that 10-day, so we are looking a little bearish. If it doesn't rebound here, it's going to be super bearish. $507, there's a little bit of support. You see this on the daily chart? On the daily chart. It's got about another minute or two to try to hold up here. That was kind of weird. What happened there? But looking like we may start really dropping. Don't want to. Let's see. Minutes. We've been above on the 15-minute till just now. This one little dip. I'm gonna add. What are you doing? Get out of here. Stop it. I'm going to average down a little bit. I got filled really high on this in the first place. That was a bad entry, but if it can hold 5, it may be able to rip. Still. Because looking at on the 15-day, or the 15-minute, I should say, it's been uptrending. It's way above the 200. This is the first time that's actually dipped below the 50 and the 10-day on this 15-minute. I like to see them bounce back up. Good morning, Michelle. See, it wouldn't take much for this to go back bullish on the 15-minute chart. Just that break over 525, that's it. In just a second, guys. Be right back. Well, that's not looking good. Starting to crack. Testing that 5 one more time, or for this first time. Let's see if it can hold up. A lot of sellers there. They're getting taken out. Okay, buyers are trying to come in at 5. BTCS still not pulled back enough. DWAC down. Another support line at 497. Little pivot point. Pivot point there. Very nice, Lauren. Very nice. Making a nice profit off of BTCS. That's what I like to hear. And we are struggling to hold $5. Let's see, how bad do we look on the 1 minute chart? We're way down there on the 1 minute chart. On the daily, 10 has crossed the 50. It's approaching that 200. Like, we're looking like possible bullish movement on the longer time frames, but the shorter one right now is showing some bearish movement as we're trying to hold up this $5 support. Let me get off the 1 minute. I don't need to be in the 1 minute. BTS still coming down, almost down to that $6 area. GMVD has a little downtrend that's got to break. If it can break that downtrend, and maybe it'll pop up, but it's going to run into 5, and 470 is the high of the year. Actually, 488. Crack below this previous peak. It is definitely over. That's 492. Let's see, what's a SPY doing? Is it still dropping? Yep, SPY still dropping. That bottom support of the SPY is 450, so if it continues to drop, we'll have to keep an eye on that, but giving back a lot of this rebound that it just had. No, it's not that. It's just the people who are making 500 to 1,000 a day are using $25,000 to trade with. If you got $20,000, or you need 25, you don't even need $20,000, but like on a dollar stock, if you was to buy 10,000 shares of that dollar stock, which would be $10,000, and that dollar stock runs 10 cents, that's $1,000. So that's why I say it's a lot easier to grow an account with bigger amounts of capital than it is trying to grow a small account where you don't have the ability to do that. I mean, you could do it, but your gains are going to be very small. Now, of course, if you're seeing it on YouTube, there's a lot of traders on YouTube, but there's a good bit of them out there who paper trade and pretend like they're really trading. So you also got to be aware of that. Realize that not everybody is honest on YouTube. Because if 90% of traders fell, then how is it that 90% of YouTubers are successful at it? That doesn't match the numbers at all. It doesn't match the statistics. So some people are fudging. There's a lot of fudgers out there, fudging the numbers, lying. And usually they're the ones that won't let you see them take a loss. But that's the woes of, trying to build a small account. But the good thing is, like, if Sicilian, if I gave you 25 grand right now and told you to go trade it, if you're trading like you are now with the lack of discipline and things like that, you would probably lose that money. Or at least you would probably take you a while to get acclimated to using that much money if you didn't lose that much money. But like, you need to learn everything, and doing it with a small account to start off with is definitely going to allow you to learn everything without you having to risk too much, because you don't want to you just don't want to jump in the stock market with that much capital and not know what you're doing. It's the same thing as like brain surgery. If you don't know how to do brain surgery, and I give you a scalpel and a white jacket and tell you to go do brain surgery, you're probably going to kill somebody. So trading is the same way. You got to know what you're doing and have your trading plans and all of that. You say that you disagree, but until you actually get that 25K in front of you, I mean, you could easily do that. 1K share on bounces, quick 5-10 cents, but it's there's more of a psychological, emotional effect when you're trading with a higher amount of money as well. Now, if you're a millionaire and you're trading with 25,000, then you're not going to be affected by that at all. You're gonna be like, whatever. I'll just. That's why you see Ross Cameron just throwing capital around like a crazy person, because he doesn't care. He's got millions. They don't care if he loses 50,000 in a day. But if that 25K is all you've got in your trading account, it's going to be a whole different psychological and emotional attachment that you're going to have to get over in the first place. Daniel B, that's what fools do, and that's what you do. What are you talking about? You use tons of capital. We just had this conversation, yesterday or the day before or last week? I don't remember. It was real recent where we talked about how you trade a ton of capital to get very quick gains. You even admitted that you made 2% gains the other day. I mean, I don't know how you're going to say that's what fools are. Are you calling yourself a fool? Daniel B coming in with the nonsense right out the gate, throwing grenades at everybody, even if it's grenades that even if it hits himself as collateral damage. He don't even care. He's on a rampage now. We are testing and testing and testing this $5 area, just like we were testing that $5.25 area. May have to cut this. So we got rejected at 5 there on that retest. Buyers still trying to come in though. Let me see. Let me go back to that. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, see where we're at on here. So on the 4-hour chart, we're lined up bullish. Just need to see it pull above. Yeah, if it doesn't hold up here, it's going to pull back down to 450. I ain't holding it that long. There's a big order sitting at 391 on the bid. I'm wondering if he's a short. Looks like he may be a short if we don't hold up here. Which means this thing is going to go right down to that 440. It looks like it is going to go down to 445. Just going to put a stop loss at 489. Yeah, it's starting. Yeah. Are you kidding me? It's still getting rejected at 5, but I'm just like, if you didn't catch it, as soon as I put that stop loss in, they yanked down there and grabbed it. Like, as soon as I put it in. So that's a $45 loss there. But it immediately came right back up to 5. Just reaching down there and just grabbing my order. Within a second. No, I don't even know if it was a second. It was so fast. As soon as I hit that stop limit, as soon as I put that stop in at 489. Alright, well, anyway. It wasn't a great entry in the first place. Like I said, I bought it too high. I was looking for that breakout. It looked like it was going to try to break out, but then got rejected. But the problem was, I did not wait for confirmation. You see on this 5-minute, the 10-day never got back above the 200 and the 50, the red and the blue, right? So because I did not wait for confirmation of this to hold up, I got in on the first break above it. You know, it's dumped back down on me so far. So it was a bad entry in the first place, but now it's back over holding 5. So BTCS. Staying right above 620. CGNX not doing anything. SBEV selling off. GMVD did break out of this triangle, so this is continuing to ride up this 10-day moving average. Really, it's looking bad. And then, of course, BTCS, if it breaks back above 650, breaks back above that 10-day, it could start running, but you do have a lot of resistance. At that $7 area, or $6.75 area. Let's see. And BTCS may start trying to bounce. Don't you love it when the sheep like to point the finger and call other people sheep? What's up, One Life? Good morning, buddy. Boy, it's windy. BTCS is trying to start moving over that 10-day right now. Well, I got SPY dumping. Ortex? I don't have any. I'm not in anything right now. I didn't have a lot of funds left for some. I don't know exactly how I miscalculated, but with the weekend or not the weekend, but Monday being a holiday or whatnot, I may have used too much funds yesterday. I'm not sure, but I only had enough for that one trade. So I'm not in anything. I don't even know what Ortex is. Let's see. I'm just taking a look at the indexes here. Actually, let's just go ahead and look at them and see how everything is pulling back. So Dow Jones, yeah, the SPY definitely could pull back more. So that Dow Jones Index, the 200's down here, and the uptrends, the uptrends down here as well. The dollar is still looking bearish. Bitcoin still above 42,000. I don't know why everybody's freaking out about Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're still holding pretty well so far. Gold pushing up. The reason gold and silver, look at this, silver really pushing up, almost up to $24. $2 run on silver in the last 2 days. But the reason why gold and silver are starting to push up finally is because of the rate hikes. If they're going to, well, part of it is inflation and part of it is the interest rate hike. So, gold and silver's been getting ignored for a while, just barely been getting bought. But here in the last 2 days, we've seen them, especially silver, start popping up. So investors are getting bearish. Yeah, look, we could drop hard on the SPY at this point. We actually cracked this little downtrend. So we could come all the way down to there. And oil, of course, is skyrocketing. No surprise there. The US dollar performing badly against everything. with my fake kindness and politeness, I won't go far. I will go as far as I damn well please. And I'm only kind to people who are kind to me. I treat people how they treat me. So, you come in here talking shit, you're going to get it right back, buddy. You know the deal. Like I've told you before, Daniel B. I'm the same off this screen as I am on screen. There ain't no fake politeness. Go home, Daniel B. Just go home. Don't start today. There's no reason for you to start. Whatever miserable morning you woke up to and wanting to deflect all your annoyingness on everybody else, why don't you just go back to bed and wake up on the right side of the bed? How about that? See, IMTE starting to cross back over up here, moving back up. If it could break 1050, that could start moving. So not too far from that area. Damn it, BBIG back over 5. Over 506. Oops, let's check out one. Let's check that daily chart. And still a ways away from that 10 crossing over. No, Daniel B wants to be my girlfriend. He's a stalker, man. He's been stalking me for 3 years. Constantly sits on my nuts like a ball hair and then continuously goes after me. It's very strange. It's a very strange thing to have somebody follow you so close for 3 years and just continually badmouth you and trash talk you. It's weird. But this is the same guy who recently in a debate said that inflation was 2% and didn't realize that inflation was over 6%, so I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, what do you see in there, Tom Connors? Having the line chart and the candle chart up beside each other. What are you seeing on there? What do you think about that? Because like I said, I've just been experimenting with this line chart. Just because, like I said, I never used one. I've always used candles, so I never even thought to use a line chart. And it was like, oh, it's not going to have all that details, but I'm looking for simplification of trading to teach people easier ways of trading than the old-fashioned learn all of this complicated made-up words and these made-up patterns. Like, that's the thing. Just because people in the past have come up with something doesn't mean that it's always the best. The advancement of technology proves that. So there may be, the old patterns and stuff work, but maybe, there's more to it. Maybe we haven't figured it quite out yet. Obviously, most people haven't, or it'd be more people who are successful in the market. The IMTE is definitely looking interesting. The only thing is, it's way up here on the daily chart. So it does have a lot of room to fall if it doesn't continue its upward momentum. GMVD breaking over 5 right now. So if you got GMVD, nice job. This was a good play. Multiple bounces off of the 10-day here. Multiple entries there. Could have got a little bit of profit there. And if it breaks 5, you might get a little bit more. Let's see this SPY though. See, what have we been doing? Going down for a week straight down. Ugly. Yeah, the only thing I'm seeing right now, well, BBIG still has some potential since it's holding above 5. It's just got to still break that 525 up there. Really may be a possible play. A little double bottom on the 5-minute here as it's trying to break 8. But that 200 days in the way up at 820. Downtrends all the way up at 9. It's probably not going to reach that high today. But it is worth continuing to keep on watch. And BTCS is just a watch for like the next year. Maybe forever. Who knows? It's the same information, but the line chart is easier on the eye. That's what I was thinking too. Like, it's easier to see the patterns on a line chart because you don't have all those wicks and all that extra stuff popping around. Listen, knowing what time the stock market is closing, or not knowing what time the stock market closes right off the top of my head versus not knowing what inflation is during the time when we've had the highest inflation since 1980s or 70s or whatever, that's a big difference. Like that, like I'll take that all day. Ooh, I forgot exactly what time the stock market closes because it closes in Eastern time and I'm in Central time, so I messed up the math there. Dang. But not realizing that we're having high inflation, not realizing that your US dollar is not holding up very well. That's a lot big of a yeah. Yeah, you know what's up. Quit trying to come to me, DB. You are continually trying to come at me, but you've already been neutered, so I don't know why you keep coming at me. You're a neutered little puppy. Go sit in a corner, be a good boy like you're supposed to. And you might get your treat. Daniel B., don't try to don't try to correct me on what it was in December. You didn't even know what it was in December. You can't back out of that. You had no idea that inflation was high as it was. Live on camera. Everybody saw it, so you can go ahead and stop. Go sit down. Go lay back down on your puppy pad. Calm down, killer. Stop wasting everybody's time. Nobody cares. Matter of fact, I got a good idea. I got a great idea. Since you still want the smoke, Daniel B, even after that debate, that if you want to call it that, that was something. How about this? Later on, during a time when I'm not live streaming and trying to trade stocks, me and you will just get on a live stream and we'll just roast each other. We'll just make fun of each other back and forth, and we'll see, you know, we'll see what you really got, bud, since you really want to go at me. We'll see how comical you think you are. You want to get, if you want to keep being immature, we'll get real immature. We're just not going to do it on everybody else's learning time. DWAC trying to push back up a little bit, but still, I don't know. Right now with the SPY getting so close to this bottom, until it starts to bounce, a lot of players are going to have issues. Because even the plays that are pointing upwards are like barely moving. My line, using the line chart so far, I mean, it's easier to like I said, to catch patterns and things like that. It's like Tom was saying, it's easier on the eyes. It's easier to look at a line chart because you don't have all that choppiness of the candlesticks. Like you can see on BBIG how we're forming this nice triangle. Like that's a pretty easy triangle to see there. Now if it can break out, of course you got all them EMAs of resistance and this previous resistance at 525 it's got to break out of, but we can see that pretty clearly, you know. There's nothing, like I said yesterday, there's nothing wrong with a candlestick chart. I'll probably go back to, I don't know if I go back or not. It depends. I'm only 2 days into this experiment, so give me a little more time and I'll continue to update you guys how I feel about it. I'm a macro and micro economic expert. What the hell does that even mean? A macro in micro? I am lucky because I have an advantage in English. Speak your native language. There's subtitles on YouTube. That'll make it even funnier. You speak your native language and I'll speak English and we'll roast each other. We won't even know what we're saying to each other. I mean, you know, if you want to talk stupid and do nonsense, we might as well take it to the extreme. That's all you want to do, so sure. You just so I don't have an advantage, you speak your language. How about that, Daniel B? See, David Davis, you said bullish something on Prague. Man, I don't know, bud. You really look at that. Prague is still selling off, man. It's been selling off since you've been talking about it. It hasn't stopped selling off. Like, what is the bullish development? There's no PR. The EMAs are pointed down. It's in the downtrend. I still don't see anything there, but I don't see what you're seeing in Prague. See, LPTX just popped up on my scanner. That's in that little downtrend, but very close to trying to pop up. Let me get, I don't know, let me get in the 15 minute, not the 5 minute. Where are you seeing bullish divergence though? What divergence are you seeing that's bullish? There's nothing. There's no divergence. It's just going down. I mean, this was divergence right here. This was bearish divergence between all these, or convergence, I guess it's to say, not divergence. I'm not seeing, I'm just not seeing what you're talking about, man. Did you ask HH, have you been in, hey. Orlando, nothing wrong with taking a vacation. Not at all. Oh, you're looking at the MACD and the RSI divergence. Okay. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't see, even if I was to pull up the RSI and the MACD, even if there is divergence there, uh, I mean, it's just still so bearish. Like, until it actually confirms some type of support area, then it's just going to keep dropping. It's got to find a support area. That MACD and RSI is not going to matter until it finds a support area. Yeah, golly, man, nothing is hardly moving. RLI just started popping over the 200. Let me see what is in the top NASDAQ list right now, because I'm about to go to sleep. Oh, there's that Vivos. But Vivos is below all EMAs, so I'm not, that's not one I'd want to touch. ABIT, nothing there. Below the 200. Below the 200. So we got a bunch of cheap stocks below the 200 moving average, just having some little bounces. But those will be probably short-lived little day bounces, and that's it. Oh, really starting to give a little push there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else going on. This is, see, what is that? The top gainer 67%. That's that acquisition, and then Vivos is 50%. Check NYSC. Nothing on there. HMY is up 12%. That's the highest thing on there. Yeah, this is pure indecision in this market. All right, I'm gonna take a quick little break here, a couple of minute break, and then we'll keep an eye and see if there's any other plays. But I'm just there's not really much happening. Spy's just kind of dumping off, and this is what it'll look like if we start having more of a pullback. We start actually really correcting on the stock in the stock market, the SPY, the Dow Jones Index, all of that. If we start actually really correcting, then it will look like this most days, where we're having not too much to the long side. Because if the market's going down, then buyers are just going to sit on the sidelines and wait till um, everything's safe to come back in, or the smart buyers will, the big money will. But seeing that buy and spike in silver, definitely some money moving out of the stock market. I'm sure plenty of money moved into the oil market as much as it spiked. But yeah, I'll be right back. Give me just a couple minutes, guys. All right. So, let's see. BTCS still bouncing, so definitely keep an eye on it. BBGI did end up failing, cracking out of that little consolidation triangle. Ooh, and RELI just spiked. Nice run there. So that's about the only. IMTE looking pretty decent as well. So IMTE, BTCS, maybe SBEV. I'd rather see that pull back. Yeah, that's about all I'm seeing. Ooh, SPY down. Almost cracking 455. Ooh, did we crack below this previous peak? Ooh, very close. Very, very close. Or not peak, I should say. Pivot. Reverse peak. Dip. Point. Whatever. Let's see what else is going on in these comments. Just read the comedy. Ugh. I've dealt with 3 years of Daniel B's comedy. It's kind of like that one comic who was slandering Dave Chappelle and attacking him. That LGBTQ comic. It's kind of like, I don't know. You're not that funny. I don't want to listen to it. Nothing against the LGBTQ, but your one comedian is not funny. Sorry. It's really got nothing to do with anything else other than she's not funny. Lucky? That's what you call it? Wow. Okay. You're right. I do have a distinct advantage over you in English because lucky is not the right word. You 100% correct. My bad, DB. I didn't know that you had that bad of a problem with the English language that you didn't actually know what words meant. Well, look at this. Gold still pushing up to that downtrend. Silver popping up over 24 just about. Right at 24. Gold and silver. I thought it was going to be January, and it's starting to look like it may be January for precious metals to start popping and the market to actually drop. Ooh, boy, that real estate index is looking rough too. I keep looking for it to rebound, but it has not rebounded since December 21st. It has been in a straight downtrend. Of course, it is January, which is a slow time for real estate anyway. But if that cracks, which I'm hoping it does, because I want to see another. Well, I would like to see another big real estate crash so I can buy up lots of real estate. Everybody else, if you're, if you bought your house at super high prices. Of course, with real estate, even if the real estate market crashes, real estate will always come back up just because there's going to be more people continuously than there is earth. Like we can't make any more earth. Earth is what it is. My volumes are where they're supposed to be for YouTube. How? I don't know. I don't know. He may have his live streaming up quite a bit. I can turn my mic is I mean, my mic is the same how that he has. I can turn my mic up, but I'm looking at the readings right now, and I'm just barely hitting the red line. So if I put the mic up anymore, it's going to distort. However, it could be that Hal may be sitting further or closer to his mic. My mic is about 3 feet away from my face to the side because I have this big arm here, right? So, like if I had it right here, does that sound a lot better to you? Is that a lot louder? Only problem is this looks really stupid on the screen. So if I just had, let's see, where's it at perfectly where it'd be right in front of my mouth? Yeah, there you go. There we go. That might actually work for you guys. You might not see my face as much. I can just block my face. Does that work? I know it's hard to look at. So that gives you, I can hide behind there too. Maybe that's what I'll do. Next time DB comes into the chat starting his stuff, I'll just go hide behind the mic. I'll just be like, and maybe in my gray shirt will blend in. He might not know I'm here. Can you guys see me there? Am I blending in? All right. How much real estate would be a lot? I don't know. It depends on how low the prices get. If they get down to $5,000, $10,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses, like it was in 2009, 2000, at the end of the 2008 crash, when the prices bottomed out, shit, go buy a bunch of them. Buy like 20 houses or 10 duplexes or triplexes. Rent those buggers out. Nothing but passive. Well, renting is, a lot of people say renting out real estate is passive income. And it can be, but you have to do it a certain way for it to be passive. Like for it to be passive, you're going to pay more money into the investment than if you don't. And the reason being is because you are going to have tenants who are going to call you all the time with problems. So you'll want like a handyman or a property manager, something like that, or even a property management service that handles everything, including collecting rent and all of that. Now, of course, if you've only got one house that you're renting out, it's really not worth it to do that. But when you get up to 5, 6, 10 different properties, then it's definitely not going to be passive unless you have that help that you're paying to run it all so you don't have to. So I hear a lot of people throw passive income around that term, and a lot of times it's not that passive, but just kind of throwing that out there. Do I want to pay more for a house, or do I want to pay more in interest rate? Well, first, you're talking about paying in US dollar. So if the currency is inflated and it's less purchasing power, if the interest rate hikes do what they're supposed to, then we should have deflation, right? and those higher interest rates would not be as fun. But having 5% interest rate on a $10,000 house or $10,000 priced house because of a market crash versus a $100,000 house with a 2% interest rate. I mean, come on, do the simple math, One Life. What's up, Sterling? Yeah. Well, you might be able to buy. I mean, I can go right now in the center of Milwaukee and buy houses for $2,000. That doesn't mean that it's a good investment just because you can buy houses now for less than 30K. I'm not talking about um, houses in an area that nobody wants to buy them in. That's why those houses are low right now in the first place. There's no demand for those neighborhoods. So with a housing crash like 2008, if you remember, it was houses in high demand neighborhoods that were super super cheap. Oh yeah, you're right, Lauren. I mean, that's true. It's definitely better to have a property manager and not have to deal with tenants, cuz especially nowadays where a whole bunch of people think that landlords are evil. And gold or silver just broke over 24. Let's see, let me check the charts real quick on cryptos. See if there's anything interesting going on there. Not really at the moment. Just a few little things bouncing. Crypto market's a little slow as well. Another thing, though, that you got to think about when you are investing in real estate and all is like David Davis is saying, it's too much work. The income side of it, the continuous income side is just one part of it. You're also buying an asset that's going to go up in value over time. So if you bought, 10 houses at 10 grand in a housing market crash and in 2 years they go back up to their normal price of 100,000, well, then you also just made $1 million off of $100,000. So buying a dip like that, buying at a huge dip on real estate if it happens is, to me, it's like a no-brainer. But that's just my thoughts, because those assets aren't going to go anywhere. You're gonna have them, until you want to sell them. Of course, there's maintenance too to the houses and stuff. There's constant investments in them, but that's the idea of cash flowing properties. So every month you can put a little bit back for when those problems arise with the roof or pipe, plumbing issues, whatever. But I will say this: there are some NFT projects that are becoming very interesting in the investment space. Like this game by Anamaka Brands that they have the license to Formula One. It's a racing game, but it's on the blockchain, and it's all every bit of it is NFTs, every part of it, and you can buy racetracks, the NFT of the racetrack, and anytime anybody goes and races on your track, any players go and play on your track, you get paid out a fee, right? So there's a lot of passive income investments in cryptos and NFTs, like staking, which is other good passive income options, as long as you're doing your research, because not every project you're going to want to jump into. There's a lot of nonsense projects in the crypto space. No, what do you mean no? Are you scared of NFTs too, David Davis? Do you and Daniel B have the same mind state on NFTs? Or are you saying no to something else? I don't get it. I don't get why stock investors only don't want anything to do with cryptos or NFTs or that market. I don't understand that mind state. When you have multiple ways to make money, why would you not use every way that you have to your advantage? What do you mean you can't buy digital anything? You're going to have to elaborate a little bit more. Go sit down, Daniel B. You didn't even know what white papers are. We're having a crypto conversation, something you know nothing about, so you can be quiet, Daniel B. You've already proven that you don't know a lick about the crypto space, which is also on that live stream or on that debate. I'm talking to David right now. I wanna see what David's opinion is, not yours. We all know that you hate cryptos and NFTs because you don't understand them. They're all in English, so it makes it difficult for you to know how to value a crypto. So if RLI can hold above that 815 area, it could continue to move today, but I don't know. The way the SPY is really testing this peak right here, this 455 area, I mean, it's not showing any signs of rebounding at the moment. That 10-day just crossed the 50. Like the SPY would have to rebound like right now, or it's going to sell off. I don't. You think NFTs, that will be a crash that will kill people? One Life, Daniel B doesn't need your help. He's also the same person who said that gold has no value, so you're defending somebody who literally said the same thing about gold as cryptos. I'm not sure, David Davis. I'm not even understanding what you're getting at. Our market crashes as it is. This will be a crash that will kill people. Yeah, I mean, the stock market crashes that will kill a lot of people. But what's that got to do with NFTs or cryptos? The aliens might have some gold, but they ain't got my gold. I keep gold around. Gold and silver, baby. God's money. The oldest money in the book. Real money. No, the government can't. That's misinformation. Government cannot crush cryptos. All they can do is try to regulate them. But the government regulates murder, and that still happens. So every country so far that has banned cryptos has seen an uptick in crypto adoption. Because when governments do that, that only makes people want to buy cryptos more. Because the value that most people see in cryptos is decentralization. It's a currency outside of the US government's reach. And it's a global currency. Well, depending on the crypto, but it's global also. So the US stock market crashing, if people all over the world are still buying cryptos, it's not going to matter about what's happening with the US stock market. And with the U.S. stock market crashing as well, where's all the money going to go? People are not going to go into an inflated U.S. dollar. They're going to go into gold and silver, which we're already seeing today. We're actually finally seeing that happen, and they're going to go into cryptos. They're going to go into investments or assets that the governments have no control over. The whole reason why the stock market is crashing is because of the government. It's like all these arguments are for crypto, not against crypto. They can legislate it, but like I said, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they can. I mean, they may have regulated our constitutional freedom. I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to on that in particular. Okay, but it doesn't. It's not. The U.S. government can't stop it. They can't stop something they can't control. That's why governments want to regulate cryptos and they want to stop them. The whole reason governments have power is because they have power over the currency. They tell you what currency you have to use and what you have to pay your taxes in, right? So if the US currency crashes with the stock market, then they don't have any power if they can't, you tell you to do something with the US dollar, if the US dollar ain't worth anything. Or if everybody was just to stop using the US dollar and start using cryptos, then the government couldn't do anything about it either. Like, don't give so much power to the government. Just because they've done things in the past doesn't mean that they won't fall or collapse. Our government's in shambles right now. I mean, these two sides can't even have a conversation about whether the sky is blue without them arguing, on a clear day. Cryptos aren't going anywhere. Blockchain, it doesn't make sense for blockchain to go anywhere. The technology, see, this is where the misinformation or the lack of research shows when I'm having these debates or talks with people. Because the blockchain technology itself is a better, faster, more efficient, cheaper way of interacting with money, interacting with assets, interacting with just data in general, you are going to see it adopted across every single sector. And the government's not going to be able to do a thing about it. It's already happening. It's not like I'm speculating this. There's Bitcoin ATMs everywhere. There's Shiba Inu ATMs now. There is DeFi, a whole sector of DeFi, decentralized finance, where you can take out loans on crypto. You can take out mortgages with decentralized finance. We don't need banks anymore. All these old useless things that took forever, mortgages and all of that, can now be done in a matter of seconds, within a day, closed and finished. That's where the value is. It's in the technology behind cryptos and blockchain, not just looking at it as a currency. You can't just look at it as a currency, because those currencies are backed by the technology. So, of course, when the internet came out, the government didn't ban the internet. It just continued to try to regulate it and do its things or whatever, but the internet still goes on. I have too much faith in the government. I have no faith in the government. That's why I'm a crypto advocate. I have no faith in the government. I have no faith that they can do anything. They've regulated all kinds of stuff, and it's not like, what has changed? What government regulations have changed anything moving forward, besides like screwing things up, like health insurance, and like all they do is screw things up. So I don't see how you could think that they're going to somehow figure out a way to stop a global change in technology. They don't have anything but pieces of paper and pens. Like the laws that are there are laws, but how many people actually obey them? And you're saying like they took our freedom. Like, you're not enslaved right now, David Davis. So you're not that. you're not that unfree. You know what I mean? Like, you can still go around and leave the country and do other things. Like, the government's not stopping you from leaving the country. If you really feel that you're not free at all, then why would you stay in this country in the first place? No, it won't take several generations. Technology moves way too fast. You old guys, I don't know how y'all make this argument that it's going to take generations or it's going to take time. How much time did it take from you going from a beeper to a cell phone? And then how much time did it take from a cell phone going to be a flip phone to a razor phone? And then how much time did it take from the razor phone going to a little mini computer in your hand? And how much time did it go from a little mini computer into your hand to now where you can do all your transactions with your banks, with your bills, with everything all in your hand from a little phone? That didn't take that long, right? That took like 20 years at most. And technology has advanced even faster since then. Bitcoin's been around 8-10 years, and within that 8 to 10 years, we already have ATMs everywhere. We already have sports teams being sponsored by projects. The Portland Trail Blazers are sponsored by Stormex. You have Mark Cuban selling Dallas Mavericks merch for Dogecoin. You have Elon Musk selling merch for Shiba Inu now. You have influencers across the whole entire web on blockchains where they get paid in cryptos and stuff. Like, you got to do more research than just looking at the top layer of all this. If you're just looking at the top layer, you're going to come to these conclusions that all three of you are, one like Daniel B. and David Davis. You got to do more research than that. You guys are not educated enough on cryptos to even have this conversation, because I'm having to explain to you guys what I can't. I'm not even arguing with you guys. I'm just explaining cryptos to you. Like, you guys are arguing points while I'm explaining how it works. Like, that's not a debate. They can't. They can't. That's the point. If you understood blockchain technology, the government can't do anything to it. They would have to control at least 55% of every node around the whole entire world just to stop Ethereum. That's one crypto that the US government would have to go through every single country, find every single node validator, and shut them out of the node. They can't do that. That's impossible. You think Russia's going to let America come into Russia and start shutting down node validators? No, that's insanity. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to do the research on this stuff before you even come up with an opinion like this. Like, you get through your well, One Life is actually more open to cryptos than you guys are, because he's not a complete blind to the fact he's done some research. But that's the thing. Like, you have to understand how this stuff works before you can go out and say, oh no, this is not going to work, the government's going to shut it down. The government can't. Every government has tried. Even China has tried. China is more powerful over their people. They have way more, obedience among their population than America does, and China couldn't stop it. So if China can't stop it, I don't know how you would think America's going to stop it. The American government right now can't even stop inflation. They can't stop job loss. They can't stop anything. They're failing at every single part of their job right now. So what would make you think that they would be able to do anything? See, beepers and cell phones, that's what I'm talking about. You're only looking at cryptos as money. That is the base level knowledge of cryptocurrencies. Looking at cryptos as money is very base level knowledge. It's not just money. The value is not in the fact that the coins act as money. The value is behind the coin. It's the technology. Like Cosmos Atom, the coin itself, all right, is a digital piece of that blockchain, right? You take the Atom coin away from Cosmos ecosystem, the Atom coin has no value. It's just a random digital signature. You put Cosmos Atom in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is bridging every single blockchain right now to make the metaverse and all of this, then Cosmos Atom all of a sudden has a ton of value. So you can't just look at it as money. That is kindergarten level stuff. I'm not the only one educated in crypto One Life. There's plenty of people. Even Hal, you guys you might not even know this. Hal was mining Bitcoin back in the day before Bitcoin even got that expensive. You are the only one who's not educated. There's a lot of people in the world who are not educated for sure on cryptos, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, go do the research, educate yourself on the actual blockchain technology, on NFT technology. Educate yourself on that. You do research for stocks. Why will you guys not do research for this? That's the thing I don't understand. NY didn't. NY is, yes, it is illegal to trade cryptos in New York, but you can use a VPN. It's illegal to use cryptos or buy cryptos in a lot of places, but people are still doing it. They're using VPNs. Like I said, murder is illegal. Murder has been illegal, but yet we have Chicago, an hour away from me, every weekend has a ton of murdering like it's not a law. So that's not arguing something is a law is not an argument, right? Because there's like laws are not stone. People break them all the time. You can't argue with me that that's going to be the reason why cryptos get taken down, because that's just not an argument. Every single law gets broken. So I'm not a worshiper or a fanatic. Fad? Okay. That's a different thing. Now you're comparing marijuana stocks. The reason why marijuana stocks have not moved is because Big Pharma, right? The medical marijuana stocks in the U.S. stock market have stayed low because they can't put their money in banks. Guess where all the marijuana companies have been putting their money since they can't put it in banks? Think about it. Where would it go? Right? But that's just Big Pharma over medicines. Big Pharma has no control over cryptos, just like the government doesn't. And the same way that weed has been illegal forever, people still grew weed and smoked weed and sold weed for all of this time. So again, that is only adding value to my points. You guys, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like this is the same thing that happened with DB and One Life, both live on camera on those debates. You both got smoked because you did not do the research. David Davis, you are doing the same thing that those two are doing right now. Go do the research, then come back and talk to me about it. Give me real points that I can argue, not points that I have to correct you because you're misinformed. Right? Like that's not an argument. Yeah, exactly, Lauren. They can't get a budget passed. You think they're going to ban currency? Your 73-year-old mom is one person. Lauren's grandpa is all over cryptos. So that argument's thrown out the window. Lauren, go ahead, tell him about your grandpa and how he knows about Bitcoin and all that stuff. Because One Life's grandma doesn't know anything about cryptos. There's no way that cryptos could ever continue on. Like that's your argument. Like listen to the arguments you guys are putting out. Like I'm not a fanatic. I just want, if we're going to have a debate about cryptocurrencies and NFT and blockchain, I want to have an actual debate. Not sit here and, like I said, continue to educate the people I'm supposed to be debating. Now, if you want to be educated about cryptos, Framework Fortune Crypto. That's where you go. You go over to that channel. You know, you guys are so stuck in like it's the same. It's like the same thing as people who were like fighting against the printing press. You guys would be that same thing. You'd be like, no, the printing press, blah 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 blah. You know, it's things like that. What are you talking about marijuana adoption? Marijuana's been adopted forever. Just because it was illegal, I mean, do you not realize there was a whole culture? Bob Marley, Cheech and Chong. Like, what are you talking about right now, One Life? You're not even making any sense. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be huge taxable income. That was your argument. Where's Peter Schiff at? I'll argue Peter Schiff all day. I didn't say you were stupid, David Davis. I said you are uneducated on the topic of blockchain and cryptos. You may have seen a lot in your 50 years. That's fine. But I've seen a lot in my 33 years as well. I've done things you probably have never even thought of doing. So, we can talk about how old we are and what we've seen in our days and ages and all of that, but that's irrelevant to any of this. That's not even a part of this debate. Um, oh, since you guys want to bring up Peter Schiff, I got you. I got something for you guys. I love this. This is so fun. I'm glad the stock market's slow today so I could sit here and educate people on cryptos. Because I'm doing this not for you three who are anti-crypto. I'm doing this for everybody else so they can learn about it, the people who might be interested. So, old Peter Schiff, huh? Schiff. The biggest anti-crypto of them all. And this is going to be the beautifulest, biggest mic drop. Hey, look here. There's his face. What is this right here? What is this at the bottom? The guy who everybody's crypto argument stems from. Oh, buying gold and silver with cryptocurrency. I hate cryptocurrencies. I'm against them, but I'll sell you my gold for them. But I love my gold. I'm taking a break. You guys sit on that for a minute. So, did anybody, you know, give Peter Schiff any Bitcoin for their gold? Because he's taking it. Peter Schiff, the biggest anti-crypto person in the world, is taking cryptocurrencies for gold and silver. And you three want to argue with me about gold and silver. You guys couldn't hold a candle to Peter Schiff in a debate. This is what I'm saying. This is why it's important to do your own research, actual research, and make your own decisions. I'm not trying to convince you guys to go buy cryptos. One life, then to beat David Davis. If you don't want to buy cryptos, you don't want to get in that space, that's fine. You know, that's your prerogative. It's your money. Do with it what you want. But what I'm not going to do is let you sit here on my stream and spread misinformation because you haven't done your research. I'm going to call you out every single time. So, you know, it is what it is. Whether you guys think it's going like cryptos are just going to disappear one day or something, sure, if you think so. But, you know, this is straight from the website of the guy who you guys have gotten all your arguments from. So they can try to regulate it. Like I said, you can use a VPN and they would never know you even had the cryptos, so there's no point. No, I'm not from Milwaukee originally. I'm from Tennessee originally. I was born and raised Tennessee. Let's find out. Let's do some more. Let's see who else is adopting crypto. Should we? Should we see who else is into cryptos? Since you know we know Peter Schiff likes them, even though he says he doesn't. What's this here? Hedera Hashgraph. Hedera. The Hashgraph is a distributed ledger technology that has been described as alternative to blockchains. This Hashgraph technology is currently patented, and the only authorized ledger is Hedera Hashgraph. The native cryptocurrency of Hedera Hashgraph is HBAR. Wonder who's behind this HBAR here, this cryptocurrency. Hedera is owned and governed by these world's leading organizations. What names do we see there? Google, IBM, LG. Some Asian ones I don't know of. But, yeah, Google and IBM, they're into their own cryptocurrency. But you think that the U.S. government is going to stop Google? Is that what you're going to argue with me? Is that the argument you really want to make? That the U.S. government's going to stop these guys? Google? Everything, if you have a smart house, everything in your house is ran by Google? You're on this YouTube channel right now, logged in your Gmail account. Yeah, Christopher Cormier, exactly, buddy. Exactly. You think the government's going to stop Google? That's your debate on this? Okay. All right. You want to see something else interesting? While I'm showing you guys things, let me show you something else that's real interesting for you guys who haven't looked into this yet. Because this is another thing I've been told I'm crazy about, and that I'm young and dumb and naive and all that. So this Great Reset, everybody's calling conspiracy theory. It's the World Econ Forum. Go down here to their partners. Who's the World Econ Forum partners? Who all is working for this Great Reset? Let's see. They hide this down a couple of pages. I wonder if we go to the G's if we might see a familiar name. Oh, who's that right there? That happens to be Google. Oh, live right now. They're live right now. Oh, wow. Let's go see what they're saying live right now here on the Davos. Accelerating and scaling up climate innovation. Bill Gates, John Kerry, all live right now on the World Econ Forum Great Reset. Do your own research. Stop buying into the bullshit that media is telling you and all of that. You do your research, you will find these crumbs that show you where everything is going. I'm not looking for confirmation. I'm not. What do you mean looking for confirmation? What confirmation do you need? At what point is enough adoption of cryptos confirmation for you? That's the question. Like, do you need it to where you don't have a choice anymore? That all you can do is spend in cryptocurrencies? Is that the time when you're going to be like, oh, okay, it's confirmed now. Cryptos is taking over everything. Like. Exactly. The same way you evaluate any tech company or any company at all, they have white papers. That was part of the debate with Daniel B. He didn't know what white papers were. He's like, how do you value a crypto project? Same way you value any other asset. But, I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine. You don't have to agree with me, but just know you're disagreeing with Google. You're disagreeing with IBM. You're disagreeing with Mark Cuban. You're disagreeing with Elon Musk. You're disagreeing with the millions of other people who have already adopted cryptos, that are already using it. There's other countries where, like I was talking about last week, in India, the women can't use the currency, so they've been using cryptocurrencies. It's I'm not debating whether it's going to happen or not. It's already happening. The only thing that I'm saying is, the only thing I'm doing is just showing you guys that it is happening. Whether or not you want to believe what you see with your own eyes or not, that's up to you. But yeah, it is what it is. But if you guys want to continue to have these crypto debates or more or less arguments with me, go do the research first. If you go actually do the research on blockchain technology, don't just go read an article about Bitcoin, but actually go spend a month researching this like you would any other investment, because if you're not researching your investments, then that's not a good idea in the first place. But I beg you, just go take a month. You don't got to do it every day. Just every once in a while, do a little research into it. Then once you actually understand what we are talking about, we can have these discussions. This is the whole point of why I did the debate with Daniel B in the first place, was to show that if you don't do your research, you're going to be made to look like a fool, because we're not talking the same thing. Like, if you don't understand none of this, then we're not even having a conversation. What is the Feds going to do? What would the Feds do? Actually, now that you mentioned the Feds, I'm glad you mentioned that, because now you're really going to... The Federal Reserve is already working on their own cryptocurrency. U.S. develops crypto asset roadmap. Is the Fed coin on its way? 3 U.S. agencies released a joint statement outlining a plan to fast-track crypto asset regulation in 22. So, of course, they're going to try to regulate it. But right here, Fed is preparing to launch a central bank digital currency. So even the Fed, the people you think are going to stop it, just go do your research. That's all I'm going to leave it at. Do your research. How am I helping his argument? How is the Fed making their own cryptocurrency an argument against cryptocurrency? When the Feds are trying to do what you're saying they're going to not do. They're going to regulate cryptocurrencies, of course, and try to make their coin the main coin. That's obvious, but that's going to fail. Because who wants Fed coin? That's centralized coin. That defeats the whole purpose of decentralized cryptos. Exactly, but like I just said, it will fail. Nobody will adopt their digital currency. The whole point of digital currencies is decentralization. That's why most crypto advocates are in the space in the first place. That's why I'm in the crypto space and I'm an advocate for it, because I think the Federal Reserve is dumb as shit, and I also think our government is dumb as shit, and that we need decentralization. But nobody's going to want Fed coin. Just do the research. That's all you got to do. Just do some research, come back in a month, and then we can have this conversation. Because right now it's not, like I said, it's me just trying to educate you guys on cryptocurrencies and blockchains. We'll see. We'll see. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. There you go, one life. Get to frying some fish up. Good day for a fish fry. We'll be back later on the... I didn't make that claim. I didn't never say not... Those words never came out of my mouth that I was smarter than any of you guys. Just because you're uneducated in one thing doesn't mean that I'm calling you stupid. That's just, I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Like I'm uneducated in brain surgery. I'm uneducated in a lot of things. That doesn't make me stupid. It's just I don't have the knowledge about that topic. You're not going to hear me debate a brain surgeon about how to cut somebody's head open and mess with their brain. I don't have that knowledge. That would be crazy. And that is the same thing that you guys are doing right now. You're arguing with somebody who's done and does literally research every single day live on YouTube on the crypto channel about all this blockchain and stuff like that. And you guys have not done any research. So I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying you are uneducated on this particular topic, and it shows in your arguments. I'm not saying I'm smarter than any of you. I say I'm dumb all the time. I'm really dumb. I make dumb mistakes. But my research is a different thing. Okay. I mean, I guess. At my cute age, I'm so smart. Like, is that even supposed to be an insult? Like, honestly, I'd rather be younger right now than be closer to death. I mean, if you like being closer to death, like, age is not an argument. They, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. David Davis. So, because you have more years experience than me, because you're 50 years old, does that make Biden smarter than you because Biden's 80 years old? I want you to answer that question. Is Joe Biden smarter than you because he's 80 years old? He has 30 more years on you in this life. So, according to your logic, that makes Joe Biden more smarter than you. Is that what you're saying? I'm not saying anything else. I'm going to wait for this answer. I'm waiting. Exactly, Lori. Nice. So you countered my question with a question. You're not actually going to answer my question. According to the logic you just said, you've had more experience than me on this earth. Well, Joe Biden has more experience than you on this earth. So are you smart? Is Joe Biden smarter than you? That's a yes or no question, not a question where you come back at me with a question. That's a simple question. What do you mean I don't listen? I've read every single comment you've said. I've read every single comment you said and countered every single comment that you said. What am I not listening to? Answer my question. I ask you a question. You still have yet to answer that question. That's a very simple question. It is according to your logic, too. Like I'm using your logic and asking you a question and you're refusing to answer it. Why? What point? What's the point? What point have you been arguing that the government's going to regulate cryptos? No, you argued that the U.S. government was going to ban cryptos and it's all a fad and it's going to go away. I'm not avoiding. I don't even know what your point is at this point. I'm just want to get a simple answer for your. I'm trying to understand your logic. You said that I am cute at my age and that you have way more years on this earth than me. And that would make you that would mean that you are insinuating that you know better than me because of age. So answer my simple questions. Does Biden know better than you since he's 30 years older than you? No. Biden's not smarter than you?
So your logic is not logical. So your whole argument that you've based on age is not logical. You don't even agree with your own argument. Like, this is the thing. Like, my arguments don't change. Like that, yeah. Like Daniel B. It's a never-ending story because my arguments don't change because yet nobody has yet to prove what I'm saying in otherwise. Because what I'm saying is not my opinion. That's what you guys keep misunderstanding. Crypto being adopted across the world is not an opinion. You can see that. You can see that across every single country, every single sector. It's not an opinion. I didn't make that up. We just went and looked at multiple examples. Peter Schiff, anti-crypto, takes crypto. Google, the biggest company in the world, making their own crypto. The Federal Reserve trying to make their own crypto. It goes against everything that you've argued so far. And then you go to try to use age as an example to argue against me like that's actually means something. And then when I show you in your own logic that your logic is illogical, you're getting mad. You're getting mad because you haven't done the research like I said to do earlier. If you do the research on the cryptos, this whole conversation doesn't come to this point. You are, and I am as much as responsible for this drive off of the track that we've went on today as you guys are, because I entertained this. All right, so I'm not putting it on you guys, but you got to do your research. Like right now, your opinions are based off of nothing. Your opinions are so uneducated in this topic that you're trying to use anything you can. You're grasping for anything to try to just make me look stupid. I'm not trying to make y'all look stupid. I'm trying to educate you, like I said. You guys are trying to make me look stupid. There's a difference. Well, no, actually, Lori, that would, some old people are smarter than Biden, but I would say, okay, here's one more example. Here's one more example. There are 16-year-olds right now who are millionaires off of NFTs. 16-year-olds. Did they get lucky? Maybe. But using age for an argument for anything is just a lack of you're just grasping. There's no reason to bring age into an argument about a technology that is about the future. Your experience in the past 50 years is not going to be relevant to some new technology that was not around while you were alive in that 50 years ago. I didn't call you unintelligent. Again, you're reaching and grabbing stuff. I never said you were unintelligent. I said you are uneducated on this topic. On the crypto topic. And like you said, I haven't seen what you've seen. You also haven't seen what I've seen, so that's not an argument. That's not an argument for anything. We all have our own individual experiences. Like what you saw in your last 50 years, like I said, is irrelevant to what blockchain technology is. Knowing how to balance a checkbook is not going to help you in understanding cryptos. But don't take it personal. Don't get mad. Stop trying to make it like I'm trying to insult you. I'm not insulting you by saying you're uneducated on the topic. As I said, I'm uneducated on plenty of topics. Daniel B. will argue that I'm uneducated on the stock market. Whatever. But when it comes to this topic of cryptos, with your guys' arguments, it is clear as day to anybody who's done any research that you guys have not done research. That's my point. You guys are arguing something you haven't done the research on. Of course, Fauci is. That's all he loves to do. But all right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Like I said, we'll be back on the crypto channel here later at 4. If you want to find out some more information on cryptos, look at some technical analysis, and maybe look at some projects. Some new projects that's popping up, like a new one. Proppy. Just got on Coinbase, ticker symbol PRO. It's going to be, like I've been talking about, a platform to speed up the mortgage process, where the mortgages and houses will be NFTs instead of thousands of pieces of paper, and you have to spend 3 months closing on a house. Proppy Pro is one of the first cryptos to already start doing that. And that was just the idea I thought of for NFTs before somebody else did it. But, people do that things all the time. But, all right, guys. And we'll be back tomorrow for some more live stream trading. Should be good on time for that. You guys have a great rest of your day. Appreciate all the like button smashes. And appreciate the discourse, even if the discourse is, a little crazy. But that's how we do things around here. We do things a little crazy. This ain't no, scared money doesn't make money. I think that's the saying, right? But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day.